So when you went to Princeton then, because was it American history that you studied? Were you a bit of an odd one out, that you come from a tough-ish background, not saying tough background, but maybe a less privileged background, but you would have been with a lot of privileged people?
Yeah, so I went to public schools always, and when I stepped foot into Princeton, I was surrounded by people that had been to boarding schools and high-level high schools, and I barely knew how to write a paper, I barely knew how to discuss a topic in a course. I was a good student, but I wasn't exposed to the level of education that most of the other people were there. So again, I had to fight, and even being an athlete, and it's also known there that the admission standards are a little bit less for people who have family that had gone there before, or from athletes or different things. And so, you knew you were almost, as an athlete, treated as, well, he's not as smart. He's not really at the level of everybody else. So, yeah, I mean, we call it a chip on our shoulder. I've kind of always had a chip on my shoulder, but I try not to be negative. I try to still think of opportunities, right? As even when things that happen that you don't plan, or that aren't as positive as you want, it's always an opportunity to respond. It's always an opportunity to get better. And that's the way I've treated my life.
$80,000, I think it cost to go to Princeton if you add in everything. I mean, that's an enormous amount of money.
Yeah, now it's actually, and it's, I think comparatively to inflation, it was obviously less than, but it was more comparatively than it is now. But, I had to work too. My parents had to take out loans. I had loans. I finished paying loans like 15 years after university. And you're thrown in the deep end in all these situations, and I guess I'm used to that. Again, like this doesn't faze me. And so even coming here, maybe you could say, okay, you come to Leeds United, you're following a great manager, you're in a relegation fight, you're thrown in the deep end. But okay, let's go. I don't really look at it as fearful or things to be afraid of. Again, I think of it as, all right, let's go. Let's get to work. Let's get our hands dirty and everything, and it's an opportunity. And that's exactly how I've treated it. It's an opportunity.